welcome to the community briefing. My name is Gregory Sneed, and we are glad you're here. Today is the 22nd of January in the year 2026. I know it's 3 weeks have gone by already. It seems like not too long ago, it was New Year's and Christmas and all the other stuff, Kwanzaa that was going on, and now
25 instead of 26.
that's right, 2025 and now 2026, and we will soon be. Let's see, COVID hit almost 6 years ago. It was back in March. So can you imagine? And that's when we started. So we are in our sixth year of bringing you community events and good topics. And we've got a great topic and a great guest for you today. My name is Gregory Sneed, founder and CEO of, maybe I'll be chairman, I don't know. Founder and CEO of Lifesaver Financial Services, where I help my clients feel better about their money. And now it's my pleasure to welcome to the virtual stage the queen of our community briefing, Miss Crystal Mitchell.
Hey everyone, welcome, welcome. Glad to have you here on this cloudy Thursday morning here in Los Angeles. But that's okay, it's not snowing. And all of our regulars, thank you guys for coming. We got a great guest. I was very impressed with his bio, so hopefully you guys will be as well. And some new faces I see, and then our regular team is here. So as you guys all know, this platform was created so that we would have our own voice, meet our own movers and shakers and leaders and stakeholders in our community so that we can all come together in unity and work together to make change and move us as a Black community into togetherness. This is very, very important at this point. So this platform was created during the pandemic, as Greg said, for that purpose, and we've carried on throughout for the last 6 years. So thank you guys for, if you've been following us, thank you for following us and then continuing to follow us on into the future. The community briefing is powered and supported by Recycling Black Dollars and supported by the BBA, as well as monetarily supported by Carry On and Survive, yes, by Los Angeles LDC, which is Community Development Financial Advisors, Southern California Edison, PCR, Wells Fargo Bank, and SoCal Gas, Urban Excellence. I believe that's it. And anyone else that wants to support us, we are always open and happy to have you do that. You can go to our website, the community briefing, to do so. And you can follow us on our YouTube channel. We need to increase those numbers, guys. 2026, my goal is to monetize this platform. So I want everyone to go over there and hit that subscribe button and like us when I put the videos up. And with that, our team, Mr. Gregory Sneed, you've already met him. Mr. Stephen Turner, who is our producer and goes out and finds these amazing guests. We thank him for that and follow up and bring them on. And myself, and then the other female energy here, Miss Robin, and she's going to tell us why it's so important that we need to be voting in March. Over to you, Robin.
Greetings, everybody. Good day. Robin Phillips with the Phillips Group. I think that it's critically important that the immediate thing that we need to do right now is to start calling, email, writing, phoning our politicos, or everybody, local, state, and national. We need to start making a lot of noise, because until we start making that, the protests are good, but written communications is even that much more effective. And so again, I think that as we get ready for these votes that are coming up, especially in your local community, we need to do more than just be out on the street protesting. We have to clog up their phones and clog up their emails so that they understand that the numbers, the community will speak, and the community is not happy. And especially what our current administration is doing, starting with the head. They're just selling us down the river and we're sitting on the sidelines shaking our head. We can't do that. We have to engage. And so again, your vote counts because somebody died in order for you to be able to vote. So if nothing else, you owe that back to your ancestors. I'm going to kick it over to Greg so we can get started, but vote, 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 and make some noise. Make some noise. If you're on social media and you're not talking to your political folks, then please add that to your mix.
Yeah, that's right.
when I went in the insurance industry and I was in the claims department, they say the squeaky wheel is what get claims paid. So
That's
every
true.
time a squeaky wheel called in, we had to jump. So we want to become squeaky wheels, guys.
Thank you, Squeaky.
Squeaky.
So our guest today is Len Gibson, and he is a partner at Go Media, co-CEO at Go Media Productions, and he provides post-production, production, and film finance services to clients in the entertainment industry. He's got over 20 years of experience in film and TV production, media planning, strategic planning, and business development with a proven track record of delivering results, generating revenue. He's also the founder and CEO of Peachtree Village International Film Festival, a successful annual event which showcases quality HD content for a worldwide audience across multiple digital platforms. He's raised over $1 million in sponsorship and attracted national sponsors, celebrities, and media partners. He's passionate about creating and promoting innovative and diverse film, TV projects that reflect the Georgia film renaissance and the global market. He has gone to Clayton State University for film production and screenwriting as an instructor. He went to, High Point University, got his BA in English and Media, and also his MBA from the University of Phoenix. He has this Jaro Media Services that he's been doing for about 7 to 8 years. And we didn't get a chance to find out where he's from. I hear a Southern accent, so I imagine he's from the southeast part of the United States, perhaps Georgia. So we don't know where he went to high school or any of that stuff. So he'll share with us where he's from, where he is, and where he's going. So please join me in welcoming Len Gibson.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, family. By the way, Greg, I am from South Carolina. So you were close. I've been in Georgia for 20 plus years, though.
You got the Georgia accent, and we call it South Kakalaki.
There you go. There you go. Well, peace and power to everyone on the Zoom. I appreciate your time today for, taking a moment to listen to me chat a little bit about what we're doing over at JaroGo. I want to thank the Black Business Association of Los Angeles for continuing to hold space every week for real conversations and about economics and ownership and community power. What you're doing with recycling Black dollars is not only symbiotic, it's structural. We appreciate you. Thank you so much. Today, I want to talk a little bit about JaroGo, as I mentioned. More importantly, I want to talk about where we are in the creator economy and why this moment is not about talent, virality, or followers. It's about infrastructure. Because talent has never been the problem. We've always had talent. Access has never been the problem. Creativity has never been the problem. Ownership has always been the problem. The creator economy is booming, but not for us. The creator economy is now a $250 billion plus global industry. Everybody is a creator now. Social media platforms, streaming services, podcast networks, influencers, everybody is eating. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Black creators are overrepresented in the influencer space, and underrepresented in ownership. Ownership. We drive culture, we drive trends, we drive language, we drive sound, we drive style, but we don't own. So when it comes to who owns the platforms, who controls the data, who sets the rules, who profits long term, we're usually on the outside looking in. But when it comes to what we're doing at JaroGo, our goal is to change that. The current creator economy is built like sharecropping with Wi-Fi. You get visibility, but no equity. You get reach, but no leverage. You get a check, but no control. And that's not accidental. Platforms matter more than content. Content is no longer king, platforms are. If you don't own the platform, you don't own the audience, you don't own the data, you don't own the distribution, and you don't own the upside. And if the algorithm changes tomorrow, your business disappears overnight, literally overnight. So that's why JaroGo is so important. We're not just another app, and it's not because we're not just another streaming service, but because we're Black owned. Our digital ecosystem is built for creators, filmmakers, musicians, educators, entrepreneurs with ownership and monetization and community economics at the center. JaroGo is multi-layered and it's not just a single product. It includes independent film and television streaming. We have live streaming and creator monetization tools, gaming, social media, e-commerce, and community-driven distribution. In simple terms, we allow creators to create, distribute, monetize, and build wealth without giving up control to systems that were never designed for us. The difference we've seen in the marketplace just over the past few years have been a huge a huge change in terms of what we've been used to as it relates to ownership in the space that we call media. We're seeing all types of things happening. I'm sure you guys seen the press in terms of Netflix and Warner Brothers, partnering or attempting to partner. It's getting tough, in the landscape when it comes to, media. Now, granted, we have several more opportunities to distribute content as a creator, but again, ownership. Are we owning what we create? Now, the interesting thing is we've seen most recently, today was a huge win, for Ryan Coogler, getting, 16 Oscar nominations, right, for Sinners, which is huge for our community. And it's huge that, Ryan Coogler walked away with a great deal, considered. I say great considered, in the marketplace in terms of the deal that he did for Sinners with Warner Brothers. What we don't understand, a lot of us don't understand, is that that deal is done all the time. It's just not done all the time in our community. So when you walk away with getting your masters back, getting your ownership back 20, 30 years later, it sounds like it's a big thing, in Hollywood, when in fact you should walk away with your ownership day one. It should always be a partnership. It should never be an exchange of ownership when you create the IP. But that's what we're trying to do different. That's what we are doing different at JaroGo. We want to empower creators to maintain their ownership. It's always a partnership with us. And that's the goal. We want to show creators, one, how to do business, not only with us, but across the board, is needed in our community. Not only do we want to help creators do that, we want to help creators understand how to build and create their own platforms, their own ways of distribution, because the industry is always changing, it's ever changing. So for us, we're trying to be a gateway to entrepreneurship so that we all can get a piece of the pie. The pie is 100% big enough for all of us to take part in. It's just a matter of, how much of that pie do you want? How hard are you willing to work to get it? Are you willing to use your IP to create opportunities and build partnerships? But we try to flip the model that's currently out there in the marketplace and ensure that you own your content, You monetize directly. You can build sustainable income and participate in our growth. Content drives commerce, a Black owned platform that controls narratives, advertising dollars, partnerships, and data insights. We share our data. That's how ecosystems work. Legacy over likes. Likes don't build legacy, followers don't fund futures. Virality doesn't equate to sustainability. Platforms do, ownership does, systems do. Jaro goes about long term thinking, equity over applause, structure over moments, legacy over trends. This is a moment, not a pitch. We're being asked to support Black owned infrastructure, shift our digital habits intentionally, invest attention where ownership exists, and build instead of just participate. This is not clarity or charity, it's all about strategy. The creator economy is being rewritten right now. The only question is whether we're authors or users. Recycling Black dollars means choosing ownership, choosing ecosystems, and choosing the long term power. If we do this together, not as individuals, but as a community, we won't just participate in the future, we'll own it. Thank you.
Hey, Lynn, I really appreciate what you're doing. And tell us a little bit about how you came up with the name of your company and give us an example of I'm thinking about the young lady who just wrote the jingle for Dr. Pepper and got picked up, and then she's being approached by 12 million others now. Um, Certainly, she would not have been someone they would have considered. So if you could talk a little bit about how you came up with the name of the company and what does a transaction look of that, what does a opportunity look like? Because to your point, we're not really looking into we don't want to be transactional. We want to be relationship builders.
Absolutely. To answer the first part of your question, JaroGo comes from two different companies. I'm sure you guys are familiar with Mount Kilimanjaro and how vast the mountain is, right? It's an ecosystem. So our business partner, Richard Devon, created Gyro Media, and he brought me on as a partner years ago, and I was assisting him with Gyro Media. Richard has 30 plus years of experience in technology, very successful engineer, and I assisted Richard with moving into the media space. And my business partner Wayne Overstreet and I, we had another company, Go Media Productions, which stands, the G is for Gibson, the O is for Overstreet. My last name is Gibson, his last name is Overstreet, and we combined the two names, Gyro and Go. So that's where we came up with Gyro Go.
Great. That is great. So give us a snapshot of a transaction. I'm sorry, as an opportunity, as I keep
Sure,
calling it.
sure. An opportunity with us, just in general. If you have, I'll just give a real simple opportunity. If you have an organization that you are promoting across social media and you bring that organization to Gyro Go, you'll have an opportunity, one, to set up your profile just like you would on Instagram or any of the other social media platforms, number one. But number two, you have an opportunity to do everything under that ecosystem or our ecosystem. What I mean by that, we have an e-commerce store. So if you want to sell product or merchandise, you can do that from your profile inside of our system. If you have content that you're wanting to release in terms of it could be a commercial, it could be a documentary on your company, it could be anything. We do short form and long form content. So it could be a 2 hour documentary you can distribute and release still under the same platform in the same ecosystem. So all of those things happen in one place. And what happens, when you do it that way, one, you keep your consumer, you keep your client in the same space. So you can monetize better. You're not having people move around, to TikTok, to Instagram, to YouTube, all these different places to accomplish one goal. And what we do as a company is we try to be fair, in terms of the transaction. And the deal is normally 70 to 80% to the actual creator that they retain from revenue, whether that's sponsorships, ad dollars, subscriptions, etc. And we stand by that. And not only that, we have no shadow banning. You're able to reach your entire audience. When you go to Instagram, if you notice, it could be all of us right now on the same thread, and I post something, and you guys are friends of mine. Everyone here may not see the same post because of shadow banning, unfortunately, because they want you to spend money, by buying ads, etc., so that everyone in your ecosystem can see the same information. On JaroGo, we don't do that because we realize that one, as a creator, a business owner, entrepreneur, etc., you need to reach your audience. That's a big part of why you sign up and you post on social media.
Mr. Overstreet, we invite you to chime in as as a partner here. We'd love for you to chime in as we have this conversation. I did just jump in, Greg. Like you're right. I just was thinking about this young lady who just came up with this jingle, and I'm concerned that people get so excited about having a transaction or one hit that they don't think, to your point, and which is what you were or were designed to do, is to help them think long term. A lot of us on here on our call are business coaches. We have the experience, we have the depth of knowledge, we're subject matter experts. Talk to us a little bit about your alliance with, when you say you provide the full ecosystem for training, because my tagline is people work in their business and not on their business. And when it's time for them to work on their business, all they want to do is talk about the product. They're not understanding that I'm talking about the infrastructure of your project, of your entity. So if you can speak to that a little bit.
Absolutely. When it comes to training, one of our goals is to be able to offer educational programs in various disciplines, where we bring experts into our ecosystem that are able to offer opportunities, training opportunities. Just for example, we're in the process of finalizing a series of master classes with Bill Duke for
Mm.
actors and directors, right? But for a lot of us that may or may not understand, taking an acting class is not only for actors. It's great for business owners. It's great for speakers. It's great for teachers because it builds confidence and helps you, speak in rooms that you may not be familiar with, etc. But that's just one example. We're going to be partnering with schools, specifically HBCUs initially, offering courses and programs that they may not have or can't afford to have, to do it virtually. And we're open to other opportunities as well. We've been approached by a um, a school that's wanting to offer technology courses virtually, and we're in the process of figuring that out as well. The good news is that our infrastructure is pretty vast. We own the actual tech company that built our technology. So what that means is we can grow, we can expand, and we can expand without it being, horribly expensive. And that's extremely important. And one of those things that we plan to do is continue to add, different programs without, going over budget, blowing our budget. But definitely training is a big part of what we do.
Talk to us about a little bit about what the team looks like. We have our two founders here. Talk to us about the rest of the team.
The rest of the team is pretty vast. It's goodness, Wayne, we grow every day. So right now we have a team of about what, 12? Is that accurate? Maybe bigger than that now, right? As I mentioned, our third co-founder is Richard Devon. He has 30 plus years of experience, as an engineer in the tech space. We have, as I mentioned, we own our tech team, the tech company, and it's what we have a team of about 10 actually. Now that I think about it, if we include our the tech company that's working on the technology 24/7. We have a talent relations director. We have our we have a COO, which is Wayne is covering that now, but we also have an attorney that's on full time that's also working in the space of creative relations as well. So we have a pretty vast team and growing.
Great. Greg, Crystal, questions? Again, let me just say this to our audience. If anyone has a question, if you could put it in the chat or just raise your hand. We'd be glad to have you and join in on the conversation.
So having your own tech team and designing the way you guys have, is that because there's been other uh, um, Black folks that have started a social media platform and haven't survived. And know over at Fanbase, Isaac is having challenges to get us all over there. And then I think Stephen, there was another guy that came on, VIP Socio. Isn't that another platform, a platform that's for us all coming together? Is that you're owning your own tech and all of that? Does that make you guys stand out and have the ability to survive versus some of the others? Or what are some of the issues with getting us over to you, everybody's platform where we supposed to be? That's my question. How do we
Well,
get our asses over there?
well, two-part. Wayne, you want to take part of that?
Sure. We've seen the struggles that others have had that came before us as far as surviving, being able to do the upgrades, being able to keep the functionality as they grow. And that was one of the reasons we did obtain our tech team, so to assure that one, upgrades, constant, the maintenance that required is cost efficient. Two, we're built to scale in the cloud. We're built we're equipped to handle large volume at any particular time because we are a streaming platform that does pay-per-view events. So we anticipate doing sporting events and things of that nature that will potentially have millions of people come to the platform at once. We're built with that in mind. We are built utilizing all the latest tools and AI mechanisms and things of that nature that other platforms are now scrambling to revamp or to update. And fortunately for us, because we are new, we've been able to build with all of the technology in place. So owning that technology, incentivizing our tech team who for years will work for hire. It's just part of what we do at JaroGo. We empower people. So by giving them an equity stake in the business, now they're incentivized, they're motivated to make our technology the best in the marketplace. And we're seeing the results of that.
Awesome. Awesome. So, so that other part of my question was, how do we, because, we need our own voice. That's really the reason why community briefing was created. And I have a couple other podcasts as well, because media is vitally important to our survival. Lynn, you mentioned about the Warner Brother deal. So it's not about owning the media, it's about the power of the voice. That's why they're doing what they're doing. So if you guys read backstories when they're talking about mergers of companies, they ain't got nothing to do with money. It got to do with power and demand and commanding what you hear, how you hear it, and where you see it. And so while we're quietly sitting there, we're going, there they go again. No, there's some damage, major damage going on behind the scenes, guys. Really major damage. And so what Lynn and Mr. Wayne is doing is vitally important because of the fact that if we lose platforms on how to speak to each other and how to get our message out without being censored, then we've pretty much lost our being here, period. All they want is our money. That's it. So either one of you guys can add to that. And then Steven has his hand up.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. You're right. It's definitely all about power. We see this shift, every so often. I mean, we're seeing it happen also, with social media platforms and streaming platforms, in general. Right now, you see what's happening, with Meta. You saw, TikTok, what was happening there. It's all about power. But that's why ownership is key and ownership is king right now. We talked about, content being king, but on the platform is the true king right now in this economy. Stephen,
Steven?
I don't know if you have the ability to share your screen and maybe showcase like one of the storytellers' movies or independent, like maybe Carl, famously black, where maybe the audience can take a look at how the platform actually looks. Do you have the capability?
yeah, I think so. Let me see what I can do here. Hold on 1 minute. Don't laugh at my crowded screen if
All
it
of
comes.
us have this, we all
Oh,
have
that's
that
neat.
exact same
That's
challenge.
neat. I've seen far worse.
Hey, but there's a making. Robin Phillips has a movie in the making. She doesn't know
Yeah,
about it yet, but it's going to be the
yeah.
life and stories of Robin.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm working with Terry Rabinsky, who spent 49 years in the NFL, 5 years with the Raiders, won a Super Bowl, but was never considered a coach. And I'm working with him right now. And the other thing I was going to share with you guys is I just introduced him to a young lady, Darian Gibson, who's the executive director for SCAG's Independent Film Festival. So there's a slam dance festival. I mean, the festival coming here in February, and one of my clients out of Atlanta, a young sister with sickle cell, who she's won and she created this slam dance, and so I'll share that with you in a minute.
So, Lynn, can
Uh,
you tell a little bit about what you're going through and how Robin can also her documentary can be?
oh, absolutely, absolutely. So, can you guys see the screen here?
Yes,
Hmm.
I actually
Okay.
saw that movie
Yeah,
over the
that's
Christmas.
yeah. So if you saw He Findeth, it was a movie that was produced by Wayne and myself, Go Media Productions. So
Okay.
yes, so we're always excited about that one. So you guys are looking at um, the social media aspect of the platform here. Um, you can see various posts here as I scroll up and down, right? Um, where you can post things just like you would on Instagram or Facebook, etc. Um, what Steven was talking about here is really our Watch Gyro feature. You see all of these banners that are scrolling at the top. We have a robust independent film library, film and television, and it's growing. We distribute all types of content, whether it's a feature film or a documentary, um, news specials, so on and so forth. Carl Gillier here, one of our partners, he has he has two things on our platform. He has this podcast is called "How Do I Know You," and we have how many episodes do we have, Wayne? Is it like 12 or something? 11 or 12?
Yeah, it's 2 seasons, actually 14 episodes.
14 episodes, of that podcast. And then we have a show, which is a really amazing show. It's called Black Famous. In fact, let's see if we could go to it here. I just clicked on the Watch Gyro feature where you pull up several of the projects. Um, Black Famous is another project that Carl directed, and he also wrote it and produced it. And it's pretty phenomenal. We're excited about it because, in fact, I believe it's the top project on our platform right now. Let's see. I believe we have it
Under your TV show.
right here. So we'll play just kind of the intro of episode one.
Maybe because you're streaming it, the audio's not playing.
If not,
Oh, there it is. We all know how funky Zoom can be about sharing video.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been checking out the women of the year today.
Oh yeah, it's a whole bunch of them here, boy. I sure don't see LaDonna though. Who? Man over here being funny. I'm talking about your wife, nigga.
Man, cut the nigga shit, all right? I mean, this is my house, all right? I bought it before she moved here. She don't live here no more anyway, okay? Tall man. My man,
All right.
my man. Yeah. Enjoy yourself. Get some dessert.
All right, man. All right,
It's kind of a real life parody on his life, and all throughout the series you see a lot of familiar faces in Hollywood and Black Hollywood. So the whole premise is he's famous, kind of, well, he's Black famous, right? So Black people know who he is. At one episode he was a Uber driver, and people kept getting in his vehicle like, don't I know you, right? So it's hilarious. Bill Duke's in it. Quite a few recognizable faces in that series.
yeah, it's really hilarious. And I think we have two seasons. Our goal is to continue to produce more episodes and grow that series into even a much larger series. Someone asked when was JaroGo established? We've been around for a little over a year. And during that time, it's been build, build, build. We actually haven't even officially launched yet. This is all beta. We officially launch on February 2nd, so we're a few days away. So truly excited about that. And we already have around 2,500 downloads in beta, which is we're extremely excited about. Our goal is 500 downloads in beta, so we exceeded that, greatly. So we're excited about that.
Okay,
I want to
that's fantastic.
recognize Bernice had a question and she's had her hand up for a minute. So we want to have her to be able to answer a question.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Congratulations. I was wondering, how did you go about vetting your partners, finding your partners, vetting them, and finding that synergy between you two, between you all to create something like this?
Wow, that's a good question. What we did was honestly, we went to people that we already had great relationships with, right? That we've worked with and had history with for a while. That's how we started. We built the foundation by just going with, people that we trust, and had history with in this business. The good news is when we started, our partner, Richard Devon, because of all the experience he had in the tech space, he's worked with so many, groups of great tech professionals around the world. And he came to the table and said, guys, let's bring on a team that's proven that I have history with. And that's how we started. And it's been great. It's been great so far. There are, a few additional components that we are still, filling. And the way that we're, looking for those positions, those spaces are really just, again, just through relationships.
How you mentioned monetizing? So how does that work, and does it occur on immediately, or is it time
It really
span?
it really depends, right? It depends on the strategy. So if you're a content owner, a film producer, or what have you, you have a film and you bring it to the platform, there are a few ways that we can go about it. One, we do what we call a TVOD release from time to time, and that's transactional video on demand, like pay-per-view, right? And we tap into the audience that you may already have. We tap into our audience. And what we tell people, don't look at the 2,500 people that we have on the app today. Look at the million plus that we will get to, right? And the other thing to consider is that we own a film festival. We've released several different types of content over the years. In the same way we brought eyeballs to those other projects, we would do the same for content that come on our platform. So there are various ways, not only through transactional video on demand, but through advertising video on demand. So the ad dollars are really important to us. Day one, you won't get ad dollars, but eventually you will. And we also, the other thing that we do that's very, very different than most platforms, we look for other distribution opportunities. We know we're not the end all be all when it comes to content, right?
Hmm.
There's various places that you can distribute your content. And not only will we help you find other places to distribute your content, we make sure that you're in the driver's seat. It's really
Okay.
important to us. We're going to bring a deal back that everybody's happy with. We can take you to Netflix if you want Netflix. We can take you to Tubi if you want Tubi, Hulu if you want Hulu. All these places, but we'll do the negotiation and we'll make sure that you walk away with a good deal while still maintaining a presence on JaroGo so that everyone wins.
Awesome, awesome. And you
Sorry.
podcasting, what will that look like? Like our podcast here, the community briefing, and I have another one that I've had for 10 years, the business zone. Um, and we talk about, how to's and what, especially the business zone, because I'm a business coach. So we teach you how to do business.
Sure.
So uh with those is that a place for Jericho, a place for them to go, for us to go to as well?
Absolutely. We have a really unique way of distributing podcasts. We treat podcasts like films, and a lot of platforms don't. And the reason we do that is because podcasts are growing so rapidly, right? People are watching podcasts like they're watching television shows. You're binging on podcasts now. So if you look at the platform, we have in-app advertising that we utilize for our podcast that we're promoting. And we also promote all of our content across various platforms. You find a lot of platforms only go with, the top echelon or what they consider the top echelon, projects on their platform. But for us, we want to give everyone equal opportunity in terms of how we market and promote, specifically our partners that are doing various things with us. But we would not only promote again through the app, but we would actually give you promotional tools that you can utilize other places. We have some new tools that are coming onto the platforms, like a tool that's called Create Assist, where you can do all the cool things, from an editing standpoint, adding graphics, all those things, all in the platform, and utilize it across other platforms as well.
And is an upload, or can you go live there as well?
Yes, you can go live. Our live feature is really cool. You can almost do an instantaneous podcast on the platform. So, for instance, you can bring in another party with you live, and then you can, have others, chime in and communicate. As a creator, you could go up to 2 hours live, which is unheard of with most platforms initially. And as you can see, it's no buffering. It's a really, really strong piece of technology.
Okay, I'd be definitely interested. From our, I have archived. I think we have like 75 different videos for the community briefing itself since we've been on air. And then for the business zone, I have close to 900 videos over there. Uh, we
Yeah.
we stream live on a streaming platform, and then for the business zone, and then it's also streaming live on LinkedIn and the YouTube.
No, I love it. The other thing to consider as well, especially as entrepreneurs and content creators, we can customize things for you. So
Okay.
the good news about that is you can't go to Instagram, Facebook, etc., and ask them to customize a space for you. But we
Mm-mm.
will do that. And that's great in so many ways because one, if you have a brand or a sponsor that want to write a check for you, they may want their brand advertised or promoted in a special way. We can help you do that and carve out your own space and make it really easy for you to promote.
I will definitely be talking to you and me and my business partner on the business zone, and then the team over here, which are also my partners in this
Love it.
Well,
platform. We
I have
will.
a concept that I think that nobody's tapping into. Every local community has local artists. Out of St. Louis, there's the Bosman twins. They were educators, but these dudes, they're identical twins and they play sax and they play exceptional music. Um, are you guys open to hosting, if they were doing a club event in St. Louis and, they could do it viral, virtual, I should say. Because I think that there is an opportunity for these especially musicians in particular as business owners to be able to get their music out there and to broaden their audience. I think this would be the kind of platform that could do that.
Absolutely. It's interesting you say that. If you're going to the platform now, that's the exact post that I posted this morning. I said, listen to this artist. We want, everyone's feedback because our goal is to go into different cities to find top artists that could be featured on the platform.
Yeah,
Literally, the post from this
yeah,
morning
yeah.
that you can find on the platform right now. So we're
But
thinking,
but I'll send you some information on them because these dudes, they're retired now and they're playing music, but they're local. They stay kind of in the region. But they've traveled internationally. They have the ability to play any and everywhere kind of thing.
I
And so
love
I
it.
think that may be that would I think that could generate some great revenue for everybody, you know?
Absolutely. I mean, we want to have our own version of the Tiny Desk concerts. Absolutely.
That's exactly what it is.
Awesome,
One of the
awesome,
things that you
awesome.
said at the top of the conversation that's critically important to us here at the community briefing is to have that bench, to have folks that have been vetted as vendors and relationships, and to have folks vetted that are sitting on the bench when you need them. You mentioned the fact that you guys have an attorney on board, you own your own technology. Can you speak a little bit more about how important that is in order for you to grow, in order for you to sustain what you're building?
It's it's so important. I remember when we were building the platform and we were like, we're ready to go. This was out there like 4 months. And then we got an email with like tons and tons of policies and all types of stuff that we needed to figure out. And we was like, okay, now is the time we have to bring on a general counsel because we're not
Mm-hmm.
going to go anywhere without it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of us as business owners, we get so excited about our business, we get so excited about what we're doing, and we forget to dot all the I's and cross the T's. You gotta have legal support. It's just no way around it. Because
Mm-hmm.
what you don't want to happen, you go out there, you do all the wrong things, and then you gotta go back and fix it later. It's gonna cost you double or triple if you can sustain and survive, after you go through all of those things. So it's so important to have the right people, in place day one. And I tell you, having a mentor or having someone that you can go to and spend time with and talk to before you start is very important, especially in today's times because things change so quickly. If you don't get that advice in the beginning, you're going to need it later. And again, it's a lot less expensive if you get it on the front end.
My other thought, and then I'm going to turn it over to Greg. He probably may have some questions. Greg used to be a DJ, so that he might want to
He was
have a
actually in
DJ
the whole
session on the
entertainment
platform.
industry. He was in the entertainment industry. His dad was in the
Exactly.
entertainment industry.
I love it. I love it. Absolutely.
The other thing that I'm thinking of that I think that there is a gap, in that um we talk about creative, but at the end of the day, there's these technical pieces. My dog is barking because somebody's over in the next yard. But there's these technical pieces around electricians and set decorators and plumbing and building sets and tradespeople. I think that your platform would be a great space for Black-owned businesses that are in the trades to be able to understand what's required, what kind of schooling, what schools are offering those services. Bianca on here is one of our usual suspects. She's here every week. She's exceptional and she understands how to pivot her organization. And she's done a great job in project management and working with the trades and bidding on contracts and that kind of stuff like that. So I think that as you guys start to build this out, also think about these opportunities that are I call them ancillary services to the creative space.
No, absolutely. They're so important. We tell, especially, young people, we tell them all the time when they're looking at entering into this space, don't only look at being an actor or even a director or a writer. There are just other opportunities. And sometimes, these other opportunities to be in the business can pay you more money and they're more sustainable. You work more. As an electrician, they need you on every film. They may not need your talent as an actor because you may not fit the role, no matter how talented you are. But if you're a talented electrician, you may work on 10 times the amount of projects. So
And,
you
and
have,
I think, Lynn, I don't think people really understand all of these ancillary parts that go into the what they see out front. They don't, as my pastor always talk about, the folks who work behind the scenes and make the engine run.
Well,
absolutely.
basically, they're business owners, and
Yeah.
so their left brain has to be as balanced as their right brain. And so
Mhm.
that's what I found as a business coach. And I have several clients that are in the creative space. They know how to run businesses. And that's where we all come in, is teaching
Yep.
you how to run the business so that it will grow and succeed. And you can hire, which is beneficial for our community, us being able to hire our own. And I think that's why it's so important in all of these platforms that we have that infusion of business instruction from those of us that are qualified and been doing this for many, many years. Steve has his hand up, and then we're going to turn it over to Greg.
Well, yes, I want to bring Greg on, but before I leave, Lynn and Wayne, what can we do in the Black business community, primarily in Southern California, to be a resource to you gentlemen?
Yeah.
Wow. That's a loaded question. Um, well, I
The
mean,
part we control.
yeah. Well, this is a lot of help right now, right this moment, right? By giving us a platform to share, what JaroGo is all about. That's really important. I think just one, download and use the app, right, and share it. Let people know that we're out there. We have a lot of really cool, exciting things that's going to be happening with the app. And we want the world to know. We're also continuing to raise capital for the platform. I can't forget to say that. We're always looking for good partners. For us, we know that again, it's a $250 billion plus, economy out there. And we know that we have something special. We truly do. And another just tidbit to share is that Our partner, Richard Devon, was one of the initial investors on the front end in the beginning with Canela TV, which is the number one Hispanic and Latino streaming platform in the marketplace. And, when Wayne, myself, and Richard came up with this idea and we started building the platform, he said, guys, this is 3 times bigger, better than Canela you know. So just saying that to say, like we're definitely believers internally. We just want a team of other people to come on and help us share the word. So yes, helping us continue to share that we're out here in the marketplace, and we're looking to continue to raise capital and bring more eyeballs to the platform. And we're always looking for content as well.
Do you have a entry point for your capital?
Yes. It's it's 125,000 is the entry point, but it can be done by a group. It doesn't have to be done by an individual. So we can talk about that. We're very flexible.
I'm going to introduce you to a friend of mine that is on the outskirts of, he has a lot of folks in the entertainment business, but he has a company that was about to go public. And he has a number of subsidiaries under that, and it crosses the US and globally into South Africa and the African continent, period. But so you might want to that may be some synergy there, and definitely from an investment standpoint.
No, fantastic. And yeah, and we mentioned that we have a marketplace. So we also are always looking for businesses that are wanting to sell their products, digitally, online. We're going to be building out our marketplace, and we expect that to be very robust.
All right,
Greg?
Greg.
I think you guys covered everything. I think you guys. I was going to ask about capital, but you already covered that in terms of private capital or investors. Yeah, I think you covered most of what we were going to go over. What is maybe the hottest project or the hottest thing? What's drawing the most views right now? What do you want to give a shout out to? What's actually popping on the site there?
Well, we'll say 2 things. One is Black Famous, as Steve alluded to. Carl Gilliard's series is getting a lot of attention, so we're excited about that. But also, we literally just released a documentary called Our Story: The Original Public Announcement. For those of you who may have remembered, in the '90s, R. Kelly had a group called Public Announcement that started with him. So the group is finally telling their story in terms of what they went through. And we just released part one. We did a premiere this past Sunday here in Atlanta, which turned out really well. And they released 4 new songs to the public at the premiere. So we have that documentary on the platform, and it's doing really well. And excited about that as well. So those are 2 new projects that we have on the platform that's getting a lot of attention.
And what involvement, if any, because Atlanta, there you guys got a lot of huge black churches that are on and popping there in the ATL. So are they involved? Do you have any gospel or religious programming that's in the works?
Yes, we do. That's a big part of inspiration, inspiration, inspiration. That's a big part of what we do, family-friendly content. And we do a lot of work with House of Hope with Pastor Dewey Smith here. We have another pastor, Reverend Tracy Harris, who's opening a new church in Marietta called the Chapel. We're our attorney, coincidentally. She manages a lot of gospel artists and different people in the community. We're going to be releasing Isaac Carrie's podcast. That's going to be coming our way pretty soon. We've had some in-depth conversation with Donald Lawrence and plans to do some things with him. So those are kind of some sneak peek in terms of what we're going to be doing in the inspirational community. But absolutely.
You say Marietta and not Mayretta?
One of the things I suggest you guys do when you get a minute, take a look at our archives because we've had quite a few Black-owned producers. We've had a Black female out of Washington, D.C. that has a curriculum around Black history that's building blocks that she created. I met her she was driving an Uber, but this is what she's doing. So when you guys get a minute, you may want to take a look at some of our content because I think that there are some opportunities there for you, some people to prospect with.
Yeah, I'll
I
send you
love
over
it.
the link so you guys can check it out. So you can check it out first, and then we're gonna talk in regards to us coming on having our podcast over there as well as my other one. My nephew went to SCAD in Savannah, and so he's right now on the backside, the graphic artist, the editor, editing, and he wants to be a film director as well. He's doing a podcast. He's the editing of a podcast for a group out in I guess they Black famous too in the valley. I will. He's actually should be on here. I think he is listening to it quietly in the background there. And I'll have him talk to them as well because I think they've been on now air for a couple years. He's been doing their podcast for them. Oh yeah.
Oh, I love it. I love
Yeah.
it.
Well, guys, this has been awesome, Lynn. I was impressed when I read with the words that I read about you, and now I'm equally impressed with you and Wayne. And please feel free to come back here when you guys get ready to launch. You know, whatever that looks like, we'd love for you to share it with us and our audience. And this does broadcast live on, or not live, it's on Facebook as well. And so we'd love to have you. Help you in that growth, bringing people over to download your app. I've put that in the chat, so everyone go over and download the app, share it. Black folks, we got to connect, take care of ourselves, right? Recycling the Black dollar, recycling the Black content, recycling the everything that has to do with us as Black folks. I think I've said this before. If there's one thing that we can take away from the 5-year-old in the White House, the toddler in the White House is he's very good at sharing.
Absolutely.
I have a question, Lynn.
So there's nothing else that you want to take from him because there isn't. But he's very good at corralling and connecting and uniting his people. So let's take that away from him.
That's right. That's right. Good.
And
Good.
utilize that in our communities. How about that?
Len, Wayne, thank you so much for joining us today. We appreciated your presentation, and we'll certainly keep you guys in mind. Wish you the best of luck and prosperity. We'll know you guys are going to hit it out the park. And you're launching February 2nd, right?
Yeah, February 2nd.
All right. You got a big announcement. You guys having a breakout party or something?
We're gonna be planning a couple of events. We have a cover story in Hype magazine that's coming out on February 2nd. We have another partnership that we're gonna be announcing. Won't say too much about it, but we're gonna be expanding our reach day one in terms of how individuals can watch and experience JaroGo. So we have some cool things that are happening.
Y'all gonna pop in and join us every now and then, right? Don't just be a one and done. Okay.
Absolutely.
Our guests.
I normally talk a little more, but this was Lynn's interview, so I didn't want to talk too much.
You don't want to overstep on it and just
not at all.
Overstreet, but not overstep, right?
Right.
I was wondering.
So that means we have to have him on as a guest.
That's it. Come back. Our guest next week is Pamela Bright Moon, and she has her own affordable production and post-production services to creative artists here in the Los Angeles area. So she'll be joining us next week, which is the 29th, something like that?
Yes. And you definitely would like Lynn.
Yeah.
Pam created a documentary that it's been actually physically going on around the city, on all of the female women politicians and women leaders and stakeholders in California. It's phenomenal. I saw it last year, and it's absolutely amazing. So you would definitely want to reach out to her. She's an independent filmmaker, and she does documentaries. But this one spanned it back all the way to the very first woman ever to be elected in the state of California.
Oh, wow. No,
Yeah.
that's fantastic.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
just the history of that. Everyone, it's been fantastic. You guys are always welcome. We enjoyed you, and we want to help support you and help you move your needle and reach your milestones, and see how that helps us as well, and how we can get our word across. Because Stephen has, since he's our Atlanta, Georgia contact there, that's where his reside. He brings us a lot of people from a lot of guests from the state of Georgia or the city of Atlanta. So we do appreciate him for that. Emma, before we jump off, are you getting ready to start your the voting?
I will soon. I'm going to Milan in February for the Winter Olympics. So
Oh,
right after
okay.
that. And I wanted to also share with you, I don't know if you said it earlier. I'm sorry I got on the uh, Zoom late. I had a doctor's appointment, but Roger Tinsley's Celebration of Life is
Mm,
going to be on February the 10th at Barbara Morrison's Performing Arts in Leimert, just so you know.
okay. On February what?
February the 10th at
Okay.
11 o'clock. And his daughter sent a message to my cousin who knows him very well. Is how I'm getting the information. So I wanted to let you know that.
You're breaking
Oh,
up a
cool.
little bit.
And
Oh,
Roger Tinsley, for those of you that don't know, he is our own very own danger man, and he is our
Yes.
superhero.
Urban superhero.
Huh?
Urban superhero.
Urban superhero with a costume and all. He was gonna be remembered. He did a lot for our young people in our community, and I think he has a couple of films or things out there because he's been in the industry for a long time. So he passed away on January 7th. He will definitely be missed. He used to be here on the community briefing. And I just started missing him like at the last quarter of last year. Like, where's Roger? Because he used to be here religiously every Thursday. And so you guys can go over on his LinkedIn and his Facebook page, Danger Man.
Danger Man.
And
Yes.
you can actually see some of the things that he's done and how he's reached the kids, talking about safety and being their own little superheroes. And it's important that we uplift our children so they know that they are superheroes. So that's what he was doing.
Mhm.
So go over there and do that. And thank you, Emma, and everyone. Thank you guys for coming on once again. And we will see you next week. If you guys have not met Pam Moon Bright, you definitely want to come back, and you really want to check out that film she
Yes.
did. It was amazing. So, with that, Lynn and Wayne, the door is always open. The hospital, we got California hospitality. Come on back.
Definitely.
Yeah, come on.
Absolutely. Definitely will. And again, thank you guys. And we look forward to having you on JaroGo and being good partners to you. So thank you.
That'd be awesome. So I will reach out to you. So each one of the shows can go up independently on their own, right? I can just put all their content information and bio. It doesn't have to come through me. I just signed up as well. But
Yes, absolutely. We can set it up whatever's easy for you, for sure.
okay, I will reach out to you because I want to schedule a time to meet with my other business partner for the business zone.
Okay, fantastic.
All righty. Well, thank you guys.
Everybody.
Have a great weekend. Be safe out there. The streets are dangerous.
Absolutely.
Thank you guys.
Good one.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Have a good night,
Bye.
everyone.